Good afternoon, you guys. Well, my food processor is dirty from making the dough, the dumpling dough for wrapper, for wonton, gyoza, pot sticker, and shumai. Why don't I just use this, take an advantage to show you how to make a homemade noodle. It's delicious. The noodle out there gets so much preservative on them. It doesn't matter when they say it's natural. The homemade noodle tastes so good, like no others. Once you have tried them, you will have hard time to go back to the store-bought noodles. All right, so in a cup, I place 1 cup of flour, ordinary flour, no need to be fancy, and a teaspoon of baking powder. Simple baking powder, okay? Anything you can find in the market, and then salt to taste. And for every cup of flour, you use 1 egg. The best thing is to use the egg yolk, just the egg yolk, the fancy one. But since I cannot afford to have egg yolk, I will use egg white because of my diet. Okay, guys, go ahead and use your egg yolk. Okay, my egg white is already in there. Run them couple times. Okay, make sure it's all mixed, and then drop the water slowly. Okay, with 2 hands, I usually only use pulse. Okay, like this. But since I don't have my 2 hands with me because I'm holding the camera for you guys, I will run the machine and then drop the water from the top part. Okay, slowly, warm water, little bit at a time. I cannot do it little bit at a time, you guys. So hard to cook with 2 hands. And if it's too wet, just add flour, okay? Okay, you can see the side is still sticking, so I will add a little bit more flour, just a little bit, okay? And then it starts cleaning them up from the side, saying that the dough is ready. And if it's too wet, just add flour, you guys. All right, my dough is ready, and place your hand in the flour container, play with them a little bit. There you go. So now you can touch them and start to knead them in your pasta maker. I found out my dough was still too wet, so I add flour and ran them back into the machine. I think this is done now. In my pasta maker, change the setting into the biggest, widest setting. Mine is number 7. Every machine is different. Okay, it's a cheap pasta maker I found at Ross for 26 bucks. I will run this and keep on running them on number 7, the biggest one, couple times. It's called kneading. Okay, so instead of kneading them with my hand, I knead them with this pasta maker. And once the dough, the gluten start to build, the dough will become way more smoother, more shinier, and then you can start reducing them to number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is the thinnest one, to your desirable thickness, okay? And then you run them through this small noodle or bigger fettuccine, bigger pasta size you want. Once it's the thinnest thickness you want, okay, like mine is number 1, let them rest very quick, because if it's too wet and you run them through this smallest noodle maker, it will be sticking all together, and you keep on adding flour to it, it changes the taste. Okay, so let them rest, let them dry out a little bit. And for those who lives in the tropics and the high humidity area, you have to even let them rest even longer. Okay, so make sure they're a little bit dry, and don't worry about it. Okay, they're very pliable, very friendly. Don't worry about it, they're very forgiving dough. In the meantime, get your boiling water, a pot of boiling water ready for the noodles. Or you can just keep the noodle and dry them up, air dry, and then boil them later, but that will not last that long. If you want them to last long, boil them and then dry them, then you can keep them in your storage. Make sure that the pasta is dry enough before you run them through the noodle maker, otherwise it will stick to one another, you guys. I just hang them like this, okay, and hang them all over the place like this to dry. You can test run them a little bit and see if it's easily separated. Like mine is still sticky, so I will wait a few more minutes to dry, okay, and test run them like this before you make a lot of mistakes. All right, my first batch of the big noodle or the fettuccine noodle is done. Flour them up so they don't stick to one another, okay? And then later you can shake the excess flour before you boil them in the big pot of boiling water. Okay, my thin noodle is about ready, and my dough is still too wet, you guys, so I will not wait until they're all dry. My camera will not last that long. So don't boil them for too long. I think 20 seconds to 30 seconds the most on the big pot of boiling water, and then you guys can start marinate them with, I don't know, spaghetti sauce, or making chicken noodle like the Chinese way, you know. Toss them in the soup of chicken soup, whichever you try to enjoy them. The homemade noodle is so healthy for you. You know that you do not use salt, too much salt or preservative in them, and they're just way more delicious, okay, than the store-bought one, if you can afford to make them. Okay, it's the weekend family gathering together, making noodle and dumpling together kind of day. It's nothing easier than this to enjoy your homemade noodle. Okay, guys, enjoy and give me your thumbs up if you enjoy my video. Thank you for watching. Bye.